Hey folks, as usual, I hope you're doing well and are excited to discuss some interesting things with me. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that's super relevant for young adults, and that's the topic of sex. Per usual, this topic is influenced by one of my current shows that I watch, which is Sex Education. And if you're not familiar with the show, here's a quick synopsis. The main character is a teenager and a son of a sex therapist. And because of this, he has a rather profound knowledge of sexuality. And because of that, he winds up starting a sex clinic at his school to give advice to his classmates who come to him with their issues. Now, this show has so many amazing lessons, and one of the foundational lessons of the show is to know the truth. For instance, sex is a beautiful thing. It was created by God and given to humanity at the beginning of creation to be a means to procreate and express love. In fact, Genesis 1 verse 28 tells us that as soon as God created mankind, he immediately told them to be fruitful and multiply, meaning to have sex. However, because of sin, this act has been distorted in several ways that has caused so much hurt and pain for thousands of years. For instance, Genesis 19 reveals that the men of Sodom were so corrupt that they surrounded Lot's house in an attempt to sexually assault his guests for their own pleasure. Then there's Genesis 39, which depicts Potiphar's wife's attempts to seduce their slave, Joseph. And because he rejected her, she falsely accused him of sexual assault, which resulted in him being put in prison. And listen, because we've gotten so accustomed to toxic sexuality, many of us can't tell the difference between healthy and unhealthy forms of sexuality. And see, this is why knowing the truth about sexuality is so important. See, the reality is that sex is such an important topic to us, especially as humans, that we never just keep it to ourselves. To some degree, we all share our views, our thoughts, and even our experiences with the people who are closest to us. And when we share these views, we spread our beliefs. And the unfortunate truth is that there are so many toxic beliefs about sex that are shared every day. Beliefs that sex is more about pleasure and performance rather than connection. Beliefs that sex isn't good if it doesn't look a certain way or sound a certain way. Beliefs that your body has to be a particular shape and size for you to be considered attractive. And so it's important that we correct these ideas because we risk being like Babylon in Revelation 14 that spouts incorrect information and hinders the people of the world. And so I think the call for us is to be able to define a healthy and holy truth on sexuality, one that doesn't lead to pain and heartache, but to fulfillment and intimacy with yourself, your spouse, and most of all, God.